Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times together. Today I'm here to talk to you about one of the new horror movie exclusives from Netflix. This one I really wanted to check out because it is a Spanish Netflix exclusive and it is called Don't Listen.
It's coffee time.
Whenever Netflix releases an exclusive, especially if it's horror, I'm there for it. And in this case I was extra excited because it is a Spanish movie and I do know the actors from like Spanish TV shows and things that I have seen before, so it's always kind of nice to watch a Netflix exclusive in Spanish. Anyways, before we start with the spoiler-free review of the movie, if you love horror and if you love movies and collectibles, please consider subscribing to the channel and also hit the notification bell. So the original title of this movie in Spanish is Voces, which means voices, and yeah, I thought it was interesting the change of name that they gave to this movie. It is a 2020 drama horror thriller Spanish Netflix film directed by Ángel Gómez Hernández. In the movie we are following a family and their kid Eric. He is 9 years old and basically his parents' job is to buy a house and then flip it. They just repair the house, make it better, and then they resell it. And so they go now to this new house that they have just purchased. It is a big manor, and the kid starts to say, Eric starts to say that he hears voices, and the parents get a therapist for him to try to see the reason why he starts hearing voices, and they just assume that it is due to the instability that he has because his parents are changing houses all the time, so they think it has something to do with that. So we have here the trope of, you know, somebody claims to see something or hear something and the parents don't believe them. And this movie starts very fast paced. The first like 15 to 20 minutes are quite fast paced, and then it kind of takes a breather, it slows down, and then it catches up again at the ending. So it has a very interesting pacing that I didn't mind at all, because in this movie when you go into it you will think, oh, he hears voices, this is your typical kind of haunted house kind of ghost story, but the plot of the movie kind of keeps shifting, which is one of the things that made the movie interesting. It is a movie that is balancing family drama with some horror aspects to the story. The movie has great visuals and there is some elements that are going to connect the story, and there are some elements, some little things that you see here and there that are going to make sense later on in the movie, which are things that I really love when you're giving something to us and that thing keeps recurring, and it is because it has a purpose at the end. So I kind of really enjoyed that. I just think that we would have maybe needed a little bit more background when it comes to the character development, so that we would have been a little bit more invested in the story, because we were basically just directly thrown into the action, and I think a little bit more of character arc would have helped the story. At the beginning of the movie you don't have many jump scares, really only a couple, but as the movie progresses, and especially on the third act, I do think that they kind of used too many jump scares and at some point it stopped being effective. However, I did love the very first part of the movie, maybe first, maybe second act, because the type of horror that they gave us was very subtle. What I loved about this part of the movie was that this creepiness was achieved by not really showing too much, but you know, those typical shots where you can see the main character and you kind of feel there's going to be something behind them, something lurking in the shadows, something behind a curtain. And they did it so well because these scenes were very slow, they had basically no score, so it's putting the viewer in a very uncomfortable position, you know, those moments that make you a little bit uncomfortable because you know there's something there but you don't know what it is. And I love those moments. That is what is really creepy to me, and not the jump scares. So I do think that there's great creepy moments in the movie. I also love that in the movie they utilized things like radios and walkie-talkies and things like that to add a little bit to the creepiness. I always love when they use these type of things, because I think in the more modern movies we are losing a little bit how to utilize these things, and for some reason horror using regular mobile phones doesn't really work for me, or at least I haven't really seen a movie that really had an impact. So I love to go back to the old school kind of, you know, machines like radios and the walkie-talkies. So after we get to know the family and the kid that hears voices, the family does get a paranormal investigator to kind of help them see if there is really something in the house talking to their kid or not. But that is really all that I can tell you about the plot, because else I'm gonna spoil everything. This is a movie that starts as one thing, then merges into something completely different, and when you think you have everything figured out, then the ending comes, and I did not see the ending coming. And I absolutely loved how the very beginning of the movie, that very first shot, has so much meaning throughout the whole movie, and we get back to it at the end, so it's kind of like a full circle, and I absolutely love that. Now, this is not a perfect movie. It's not gonna be for everybody, because it does have a lot of tropey things in it, but I do think that it is worth one watch at least. And like I said, the visuals were great. I really love that they changed from one subgenre of horror to the next one, and it was unexpected, to be honest, because I was like convinced that this was gonna be type of movie A, and then we went to another thing and I was like, oh, okay, we're going there, okay. And then the ending I really did not see coming, but after you watch it, you're gonna agree that it makes sense. So I love a fulfilling ending. We love that. So definitely one that I would recommend you guys to check out. I ended up giving the movie a 2.5 rating out of 5, which means basically I really enjoyed the movie. I would recommend it to you guys, but it didn't like blow me away. Like I said, I do think it deserves a watch, and I hope that if you decide to check it out, you enjoy it. Let me know down below if you have already watched the movie, or which new horror movies have you discovered that you really enjoyed. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support, and if you want to follow me on the social media, as always, the links are down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!